Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Spiritual Spotlight series. Today, I am joined by Christine Alexandria. She's a motivational speaker, women's coach, teacher, and channel. Christine, thank you so much for coming on the Spiritual Spotlight series. I'm so happy you're here.
I am so happy to be here, Rachel. Thank you so much.
So, we're just going to jump right in, and I have a bunch of fun questions prepared for. Oh, yes, that's right. You're the Archangel Ariel lady. You and I are going to get along great.
Yes.
So let's just jump right in. So you've had a lifelong connection with angels and guides, starting with
I have.
Archangel Ariel in your childhood. Can you
Yep.
maybe share more about how this connection has evolved over time?
Oh my gosh. So, like many of us that are spiritually based, a channel, let's just say it's not the norm. It's not your accountant or your baker. It's not even a candlestick maker. So, I shut these things down because my dad is this brilliant chemical engineer, developed formulas in college. They're still teaching. My mom is this domestic goddess like none other. And here I come. Firstborn, and I'm seeing things that nobody else does. So I kind of scaled it back and then shut off eventually.
Oh,
And gosh, I was in my 30s, 40s. I was having a phone reading. Our daughters were off at school. My husband was actually traveling for business. And one of the energies the reader called in was Archangel Ariel. And it was one of those out of body moments where I just blinked and yelled out Pinky. And I don't remember anything else about that conversation except that.
wow.
So my husband being gone put the girls to bed that night. And I was just starting to get back into this whole spiritual thing. I was like, maybe, maybe it's something I want to do. I'm not really sure. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think that really curious stage. So I'm in bed and I said, okay, everybody at this reading today, front and center. I kind of want to figure this out. So in comes Kuan Yin, in comes Mary Magdalene, and in comes Ariel. This time I'm expecting her, and I went, it's you. So her real color resonance is red. But, as a baby in a crib, seeing this
Yeah.
fire engine red could be a little intimidating. So she shows up as pink. And I found out over the years, because for me, she's the angel of courage,
Mm,
you know,
yes.
really clear, right? So people that she's really aligning with, being courageous and really stepping into your power is intimidating.
Yes.
Have this red, red's a power color, have this red charging at you, you're gonna be like, yeah, no, thank you. So this pink comes in, and she's all soft and gooey, so she became pinky. So as a child, she was pinky, then coming, many, many decades later, I went, I'm not going nuts.
I
I
love
was
that.
seeing things in the crib, I was hearing, I was talking with them. That was a huge relief.
Yeah. I
It was
love
a
that.
huge, monstrous relief.
Yeah.
So that's my story about Ariel alias Pinky.
I love that. And I will say that I also work with Ariel I love the fact that you brought up the fact that she helps you be more courageous
Mm.
because, for the work that I do with her, it's very much like she's knocking down doors and like just opening the way and really aligning, my soul's purpose with what I'm supposed to be doing. And I love that
Love
she's
that.
this is the same, and I love that it's like,
Exactly.
wow. And it kind of gives us, or especially for me, like kind of a sense of, understanding, like, oh yes, someone else has the same experience. I
You
love
have to
that.
admit it's rather like whew.
Yes, thank you. It's like, it's not just you. You're not just crazy.
I'm not just talking to people. My husband for years was like, I'm taking notes. Yeah.
I love that. And let me ask you this because this is off topic. Was your husband kind of open and intuitive like you are or
Oh
not?
no, he so says I did a bait and switch. He says, "Had I known that this is what I was going to be buying into, I don't know if we would have been here." I said, "I got news for you. I didn't know when we first started dating, let alone got married. It wasn't until our daughters were probably, well, they were well into school age
Yeah.
that I started, getting back into it." And this one time, a little bit off topic, but it was a fun story. We're in the kitchen and he's on one side of the counter and I'm on the other. And I just went, "Okay, yeah, I know." And he looked at me, he says, "I'm not talking to you." He says,
You're like, I'm not talking to
I
you
go
either.
I go, "That's okay, I wasn't talking to you." He went, "Oh, I forgot. I forgot who I was just now talking to." So
I
And
love that.
he has gotten used to it, so he travels with me when we do metaphysical shows.
Oh, I
So
love
my
that.
very strong CFO type husband now carries crystals in his pocket. He's
I love
adorable.
that. I love
Yes, he's
that.
so adorable.
I will say this too. My partner is also the same way. He is not very, which is fine. I
Mhm.
actually appreciate that side of him because
Yes.
it grounds me.
Thank
And
you.
and he'll say to me, "Your energy is off." And I'll say, "You don't know anything about energy." Like,
Don't talk to
yeah.
me about energy
And I
right
was
now.
like, "But you're right. But still."
But still, yeah, he'll come up to me and says, I think you need a bath today. And it's not because I smell, because he
Just
knows taking that detox bath just
yeah.
calms me, centers me down. Or he'll go, when's the last time you took time out for yourself and had a bath? And I'm like,
I
thanks.
love that.
Yeah,
Oh, I love this. So let me ask you this. You believe that everyone has a unique gift that fills the holes in their soul. How do you help
absolutely.
individuals discover and embrace this gift?
It really depends on each person.
Yeah.
How I have this one student comes to mind, and she blazed through the BU program. She did everything. She crossed all the T's, she dotted all the I's, and she's a medium. And she became a mentee of mine. And we did a lot of circling back. Bottom line, she's afraid of her power. So she and I need to be working together more so she can stop hiding. So it really depends. And then I have this other client who's been with me for a long time. And the things that she and I have done together are, let's just say, life changing. We've discovered ley lines. We've got ley lines that are healing the earth through this legion of dragons and unicorns, ascended masters, and just name a divine deity,
Yeah.
and they're now in this little. So it really depends on the client. A lot do require quite a bit of hand holding, and it's okay, and it depends what they want out of it. So, like, let's say you signed on as a mentee with me, and I'll say, okay, Rachel, what is it that you would like to get out of this 3 months, knowing that over the 3 months your end result is probably going to change anyway.
Of
But where
course.
are you? Where are you right now? So that tells me a lot of where you are energetically, because I have one of the gifts I have is I can see where you're supposed to be. Sometimes you're not quite ready to hear it. So I like to meet you where you are and then pull you along.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit of a kick, a lot of hand holding, a lot of hugs, but
But it sounds very like compassionate. Like
thank you.
you can see where the end result is. And,
Yeah.
and I will say that, a lot of healers, psychics, mediums, they may not quite be ready to say, you're here to heal the planet. Like
Yeah.
that's a big responsibility,
Huge.
and of course, a lot of people are here to do that. But
Right.
when you're like one person in this like beautiful dynamic energy source, that's overwhelming to hear. Like, what do you mean
It
I'm
can
not
be
supposed to just be a nurse? Like,
very no, no, of course you're not. You are so much more than a nurse, and a nurse is an extremely honorable
yeah,
profession and passion, avocation, but you have so much more depth to you than
yeah.
that. When they first told me, "Oh, you're here to inspire and empower millions," I said, "Excuse me, what?" Like, can we rephrase that, please? So it's taken me a while to get comfortable with
Yeah,
that. It's still, I'm still growing.
of
I'm
course.
still evolving. As I tell my clients and students, you're not dead yet, so you're always changing. You're always growing into what you're supposed to be,
Yeah, I completely agree with that
right?
100%. So, what are the core principles or beliefs that guide your work, especially when helping others to remember their true essence?
First and foremost, love. So before I got a chance to, we started talking before we recorded, I have a ritual that is I hold my hands up high and I allow the love to come in. Gasto position. May love be on my mind. May love be on my lips. May love be in my heart. May love be my power, solar plexus. Root, may I be secure in love. Open towards the earth. May I stand on love. So that's it for me. That's the core of everything. That's the principle. And everything else then falls into place. The integrity, saying I made a mistake when I made a mistake, and calling myself out on it. Um, because I have high, really, really ridiculously high expectations for myself. I'm my own worst critic, firstborn child, the whole bit. So there's a lot of that I put upon myself. So what I do is give you my best that I can give you at any given moment.
It's
And if I
beautiful.
think I'm not going to be able to, I'll postpone our meeting.
I love that you're able to kind of self-reflect and know that you're not at your best and be able to say, okay, we can't meet right now. I'll reschedule.
Right.
And I appreciate the authenticity as a
Thank you.
healer and as a mentor that you're providing for your clients. Like that's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. And in fact, I'm a little nasal. This isn't how I normally sound. And I have a new mentee starting. And I reached out and I said, can we postpone a week? And
Yeah.
she said, absolutely. So, and that's that. Those are the kind of people I pull towards me, the ones that are equally compassionate. They're very empathic, very sensitive like you, and they sense things anyway.
Yeah.
So let's all gather together, kumbaya, and make the world a better place.
Yes. It's
And
important.
it is important, but it really starts here. Our last dog, her name was Gabby, and her name was spelled Gabi, and they were very clear. It's not Gabby or it was Gaby. I'm like, why? Her name's an acronym. As a reminder, grace always begins inside. I'm like, well, okay then.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
And she's still with me. She's been gone for a number of years now.
Yeah.
I actually said that without crying, so that's progress. But and now we have Zeke. I call him the wild man from Borneo, but though he's settling down and he's kind of coming into his little sensitive self.
Yeah.
So, but that reminder that be what you want others to be.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It starts here.
Yeah.
It starts.
So you emphasize a form of love that is non-judgmental,
Mhm.
inspiring, and empowering. How
Yep.
does this concept of love play a role in your teachings and interactions?
Well, it's so funny because we have this conception, this phrase that will say unconditional love. And
Mm,
every time I see it or hear it, I call because love is love.
right.
One of the women I'm very blessed to channel is Mary Magdalene, and that's what she stands on. The woman went and back, and we're still talking about her thousands
Yes.
later, right? And so love is this powerhouse, and it's not just really good chocolate and walks on the beach and unicorns and lollipops. It can be those things, it can be an example, an extension, but love has no conditions. So
Mm,
it's when I can get hung up on somebody's being human, and I've decided to use that phrase versus an idiot or stupid or being a jerk, because
I
that's
like
also
that. You're being a human. I
you're
like
being
that.
a human, and guess what? That just means you're perfectly imperfect. And guess what? So am I. And so are you, and
Right.
everybody who gets to watch and listen to this show. And that's the basis of my next book, Perfectly Imperfect: The Art of Loving Yourself. So that's something that when we can acknowledge those imperfections. And guess what? I got a wrinkle right here. Guess what? I got gray hair.
So do I.
Oh, 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 this is me. I got a raspy voice right now, or some may say it's sexy. I don't know. But this is me being imperfect. This is
Right.
me. Um, and when we can laugh at it, or at the very minimum, acknowledge it, it ceases to have control over our fears as much. And one of the big things we all grapple with is that I'm not good enough,
Right.
or I'm not worthy. And because we've all had these phrases over the decades that become embedded,
Hmm.
you have to know somebody in order to get ahead, or you have to work really hard in order to make the money. And all these, or you're getting too big for your britches, all those things that are designed to keep you tiny.
Yes.
And and this is where Camuel, Angel of Self-Love, comes into play, when we can acknowledge that we matter,
Yes.
when we can acknowledge that we're worthy. It's like we all want our version of the perfect house, the
Mm,
perfect partner, clothing, car, I mean, all of vacation. If we all wanted the same thing, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be boring? It'd be so boring, and I'll use the goofy analogy. Baskin and Robbins has 31 flavors. We all want ice cream, but we want a different flavor.
yes.
So how we want, like, our home is not going to be your home,
True.
right? So we can all be in the same industry, like you and I are in the same industry, but yet there's no competition between you and me. We're here to support each other,
Right.
because who I'm going to attract is going to be different than yours, because what we do as far as our gifts go are going
Yeah.
to be different. So when I gather women towards the BU program, I can't enforce it enough. It's this collaboration, it's this sacred community of women supporting women. We have a dog trainer, we have some gifted healers, crystal therapists, Akashic records, QHHT people. We have people still trying to figure things out, and that's totally cool. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
I'm like,
We
you just brought up like 4 things and I'm certified in. I love it.
Right. So we all have these gifts. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, because we're bringing our personality to it.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about this BU program. This sounds
Oh, it's
amazing.
something so near and dear to my heart. So it all started with this, my very first product, the Angel
Yes.
Oracle deck, 44 cards, 14 angels.
Love it.
And I now can say I channeled the deck and guidebook in 2 weeks. It took me years to admit to saying that.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. They
Amazing.
basically said, sit your fanny down and type. I'm like, okay, you know. you
I
know?
love that.
And then we were doing a metaphysical show and someone said, oh, you channeled it. I went, I guess, I don't, I don't know.
I love that.
And so then I had people come up and say, hey, can you teach me? Really? You want me to teach you? Okay, well, let me think about this. And I didn't want, there's so many angel certification courses out there that are done in a weekend.
Yes.
And again, I call because I've been in those courses and I would leave with more questions than answers. I would leave confused.
Yes.
But even they'll go, okay, you go do your 25 readings and then you'll be certified. Check. Yay, you go have fun. Okay.
Yeah.
and not feeling confident at all,
I would, yeah.
which defeats everything I want to be doing to help people. So I didn't want to give a course that was just a regurgitation of that.
Mhm.
So this is a course you can enroll, and once you're in it for life.
Oh, I love that.
Unless you do something really, really, really human and are a complete, I'm going to say it, jerk. And then we're going to have words and you'll get some warnings and then we'll go from there. That has never happened.
Gotcha.
But there is that little caveat. And it takes you on a journey of these core angels, from Michael first, the angel of protection, big Mike's in the house. And we work from the ground up, Sandalphon, because I want people to be grounded, because, so many that, oh, I want to be more intuitive. They want to go right here, but they're not protected. So they're going to have all sorts of crazy energies
Yes.
coming and feeding them who knows what. And they're going to be ungrounded. They could be a great channel, but they're not grounded enough
Yes.
to be able to articulate what they're getting, right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So we're working all the way up the chakra system, introducing some angels you're probably familiar with, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, but then some that aren't as well known: Camuel, angel of self-love; Haniel, etheric heart manifestation; Raziel, and so on. So we have these angels, and it takes you on. So each one has an area of specialty. Every module. I'm a little excited. Pull me back if I go too far.
It's okay. I love this. I love it. I love working with the angels. I love it.
Okay, everyone has a section on the crystals, their
Nice.
chakra connection, and things like that. Then it gets into the area, my personal story with that particular angel, which was always rather cool. And then they get into this area of specialty. So Jophiel, another not as well-known angel, she says, we're going to talk about mudras. Cool. Okay. So I did a whole bunch of research on mudras, and I included some mudras in the course that you can learn. Sandalphon says, we're going to talk about Kabbalah. And I went, excuse me, I don't
Cool.
know how to spell Kabbalah, let alone talk about it. He says, come on, we're going to go for a walk. So off to the woods we went. And within 2 hours, he explained it enough that I was able to share with the
Yeah.
students. So it's not that I'm teaching the Kabbalah. It's not even close, but there's enough information to whet your appetite. So if
Right.
intrigues you, you can go and look up more about the cosmic rays or the Kabbalah or
Absolutely.
mudras or
Yeah.
who knows, whatever else. So you get through this core all the way through. And then we have bonus ones. And if you do want to become authorized, I ask you to do the readings. And then once you become authorized from it, you have a reading with me. You give me a reading. So we can talk about, what are the questions do you have and stuff like that. And going back to when I studied and they went, yeah, you go have fun. I then give the students another complete document of say, this is what's worked for us.
Nice.
If you're going to do shows, these are shows we've loved that have done really well. This is how we set up our booth. This is the recording product I've used that works really well, and I help them along.
Yeah. It's not just learning how to do this amazing modality. It's also how are you a professional in this
Yeah,
modality? That's
right.
very important because
It,
there are a lot of trainings out there that, yeah, you're not as prepared to hit the real world.
oh, I wasn't prepared at all from any of the trainings. I'm a
Yeah.
Reiki master teacher, integrated energy master teacher, magnified healer teacher, seeing a theme here,
Yes.
certified archangel enlightenment therapist, licensed crystal therapist, and there's some others, certified soul coach. But I never felt comfortable
Yes. You can't just be
going
given a
out.
guidebook and say good
No.
luck. Yeah.
And that wasn't fair. But what I noticed, I'd say about half the students, yeah, that's about half, have gone on to become certified. And the other half that go, no, I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. So it used to be, originally it was the Angel Chatter Authorization course,
Right.
but it became the BU program because what the course ultimately does is help you be more true to you.
That's a beautiful thing. I love that. I really do love that. And I love that you've it's a module program. And then you also have to kind of, if you do want to become certified for others, you have to give you a rating. Like,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of stress. Like
I have had students saying, I am so nervous. I go, why? It's me. I'm a total goofball. They're like,
but it's you. Like I remember when I had to do my Akashic records when I was certified in that, I had to give a reading while the practitioner, the person facilitating, she observed us and it was stressful. I had to do that twice. It's
sure.
stressful.
It
But
can, it can be. It
but
can be.
but
I'll
it,
go, it's me.
it's you but it also it also forces you to really learn what it is that you're teaching
Yeah.
and to really hone in on the lesson and who I'm working with and what is the message that I'm delivering. And
Yeah.
because there's ethics and understanding that goes when you're doing a reading. It's not just like,
It-
here you go, good luck.
well, I had one student. She says, well, I wanted to know what it would feel like when I was hungover. I'm like, okay, good. You learned. You can do them over now.
Okay. That's an interesting thing to say. Like,
Very bizarre. Just like, okay.
interesting. Yeah. Altered state of mind, I guess. I love that.
I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, go ahead and do them over now, please.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm like, that's really throwing me off. Um,
Sorry.
so no. It's like, why would you do that? It's
I
an
don't
interesting
know.
thought process.
But it
But
told me a lot about her integrity. Bottom line.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's interesting. That's gonna be the word for you today is interesting. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so back to you. So the BU Academy, that
Yeah.
sounds like it's not just like how long does that last for? I mean, once you're in it forever. How long does
Well,
it
yeah.
normally take a student to go through it?
Well, it really depends on the student.
Mhm.
So when I did the beta, I gave it for free to a very
Nice.
small select group. And I said,
Mhm.
okay, you're getting it for free.
Yeah.
The understanding that I need some critiquing afterwards. What
Of
am I
course.
missing? What's doing really well? And I
Mhm.
push them, and they can do it each module in 2 weeks. So with that in mind, it would take you about 3 months.
Nice.
So I'm playing with the idea of doing a group coaching thing this coming year, where I would do that with
Nice.
a small handful. And I would, we're going to do this every 2 weeks. We got a
Yeah.
new angel. So, because one of the requirements with each angel is that you get to meditate with that angel of the
Yeah.
moment for 5 days.
Oh, I
And
like
it's
that.
not that I want you, people like, I don't like to meditate. I'm like, well, it's not that I'm making you meditate.
Right.
I want you to be able to really understand that angel's energy.
Right.
So, one of the students, she's been with me for a super long time. She studied with some of the really well-named angel, or used to be well-known angel experts. And I asked her, I said, all right, so I don't want to know what they taught, because I had never studied with them,
Right.
but I want to know if I'm hitting the mark. And she went, oh my gosh. She goes, I now know who I'm talking with. She goes, I never left these classes knowing who I was talking with. I'm like, good to know. Okay. That was great.
Yeah. I like
Uh,
that. It's
and
very, and now do you also like, not just I know that you do motivational speaking and you do a lot of other stuff. Do you
yeah.
also do like one-on-one readings with people? Is that a
Oh, yeah.
possibility?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm doing now, one of my students, she's, I miss seeing you at shows because, stupid COVID.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
we didn't do shows, and then the show energy really changed. So we didn't do any shows in 2023. We are signed up to only do 2 shows in 2024, one in April and one in November.
Yeah.
And I would do readings at shows, 20-minute segments,
Right.
and be booked all
Of
weekend long.
course. Yeah.
And I said, that was kind of fun. So every Monday I release the immersive session, where there's only 5 sessions opened per week. They're 30 minutes because, as you've noticed, I have the gift of gab. So 20 minutes is not going to cut it.
Right.
And they're still going over, I'm like, we're this. I'm to tell you, and they're like, give it to me. So, and the only rule is that you can't book twice in 1 month.
Gotcha. I love
That's
that.
the only rule.
And
So
go ahead.
that's a way for people to kind of touch base and get a
Yeah.
quick question answered. Some are turning into mentees right away.
Right.
And some will just come back next month, and that's totally cool.
That is beautiful.
Thank
So,
you.
with your array of offerings, like you have books, courses, and sacred jewelry, how do you ensure that each item serves as a tool for empowerment and transformation?
That is I love that question. No one has ever asked me that question. First of all, one, I designed everything. So it's coming from here. I'm not reselling anybody's product. Uh, my jeweler Castor is in Los Angeles, the city of angels. Where else?
I love that.
And she's become a very, very good friend.
Yeah.
And our aromatherapist is also a woman-owned business and who lives in Maryland. And she is about as saucy and spicy, but as amazing as anything. So I'll tell her, I said, look, this is for Michael. And she goes, yeah. I know about Michael, but this is really where I want, and the energy's shifting. So she will throw together some magic potion, so to speak, and she sends me samples. So it's the same aromatherapy for Michael, and the candles, the droppers, and the misters. It's just a different application because,
Mhm.
we can't take a candle with us everywhere. So it's that integrity. And then all of the products, all the aromatherapy have the angel's sigil on it. So that empowers the product. So a sigil, I hear you ask, what is a sigil? So here we go. We have Michael,
I
of
love
course.
sigils. I love them.
So these were channeled then in one night,
Yeah.
one for each of the angels in the card deck. So they all start at the circle and they all end at the line. So what a sigil is, if you don't know, is it's an empowering symbol. So you can think of a dove, and a dove stands for peace.
Yeah.
It doesn't like put in that energy of peace. So Michael's sword is all about protection.
Yeah.
And one of the things that makes ours unique or exclusive to us, I guess, they can all be drawn in one motion.
That's
So
cool.
then these sigils, like I said, are on the aromatherapy. There's also jewelry. There's the classic angel medallions, the bracelets, and then the crystallized bracelets. I'm sorry, necklaces that have
Mhm.
their sigils on it. So that keeps the energy pretty right up there,
Yeah, potent.
all sparkly and everything.
Yeah.
And then the goddess area, because I had a big meeting with Mary Magdalene a number of years ago, and she just broke me wide open. Um, so I got her sigil. That's now in a necklace. Now she has her candle and she also has her dropper. Mother Mary came out with a candle and a dropper. Isis is now also in a necklace. Aphrodite's in a necklace, also a dropper, as is Isis dropper. And then Kuan Yin dropper. And I think that's all of them at the moment. So
That's a lot of powerful goddesses though.
yeah, it is
That's a
pretty.
powerhouse. That's amazing.
It's pretty cool being able to work with them. And I'm so blessed in so many ways. The Magdalene says we need to talk to more people. I went, okay. So okay, fine. You go ahead, you go talk to people. And she's like, no, no. So we then came out with, like, I knew there was a second deck after the Angel Chatter
Yeah,
deck, and I tried it a few times and it like flat as a pancake, totally bombed. And like, this isn't it, this isn't it. And when I came back from France, she said, oh, by the way, that deck, it's mine.
it's
I went,
ready.
oh, okay. So that's what this came out, the
I love
Empowered
that.
Heart. And then our youngest daughter, I just have to, toot her little horn. She did all the illustrations for me.
That's amazing.
She's so gifted. But um, so we also now have a sacred community where I channel her on Zoom twice a month. And it's about an hour, little less, little more sometimes. She'll channel a message. We've been doing a monthly theme, like
Mhm.
we're going to talk about perseverance, or we're going to talk about blessings. We just got
Right.
through with November. I don't know what we're going to do about December yet. She hasn't told me. So I'll channel her, and
Yeah.
then whoever happens to be present, they have an opportunity to ask questions. And if you can't attend live, you can ping me through Facebook Messenger and said, I can't, but here's my question. And then she answers it. Then it's all recorded on Zoom, and then it's posted into the Facebook group.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So before I ask you the last question, what is the best place for someone? I obviously probably on Amazon to get your decks and everything like that. What is the best place for them to reach you at? Or to
Oh, I have two websites. I'm so special. Fancy. No, so angelchatter.com.
right?
That's the whole story, how Angel Chatter even started. That's where you can find me for services and all the
Mhm.
products. And if you're interested in looking at all the courses I have, because I do have the BU program, obviously, but I have other,
Yeah.
I have the itty bitty courses. That's the Angel Chatter Academy.
Angel Chatter Academy. Perfect. I love that. I'm writing that down.
Thank you.
So, finally, for our listeners who are
Yeah.
on their own paths to spiritual awakening, can you maybe share one key tip or piece of advice has been significant in your spiritual journey?
Oh, wow, Rachel, that is such a loaded question.
I know.
Um, it's so powerful. And this answer is probably going to sound trite, but
Probably not.
really listen in and don't gloss over the words. And the words are believe in yourself.
Mhm.
Believe, so many, if you're on a spiritual path and you're hearing, seeing, tasting, knowing stuff, sensing things, and no one else does,
Mm.
odds are you're not going crazy. But step into it. Step into that belief that you have a gift. Do call on Big Mike, Archangel Michael. He's gotten me out of more scrapes than I can count, than I probably am aware of. And he says, yeah, you're right.
I love it.
So thanks, dude. So call on him. So the messages you are getting, the guidance you are getting is real, because unfortunately, there's a lot of charlatans out there in our industry
Yes.
and in any
Everywhere.
industry.
Everywhere.
But in our industry, it's harder sometimes to find or to notice them because it's spiritual, right? And you can't see everything. So listen to your heart.
Yeah.
What is your heart telling you? Is that person a good fit for you? Doesn't mean if they're a bad person, or are they a good fit for you?
Yeah.
I can teach a lot of people, but I may not be the right fit for everybody, right? Baskin
Absolutely.
Robbins, remember 31 flavors. There's a bunch of us. Um, so ask for the guidance, ask for the clarity, ask for a sign. We were at a show early on. I'm still looking around going, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore scenarios. And this woman comes up, and I had seen her pass the booth multiple times because nobody knew me yet. So I wasn't back to back. And I'd seen her come by the booth several times. And she came by and she says, okay, I'm having a reading with you. I'm like, okay. I go, and I told her that I've seen you pass multiple times.
Yeah.
What made you decide? She goes, every time I came by your booth, Gabriel tooted his horn.
I love
So I
that.
knew, so I knew you would give me the right communication. I went,
Yeah.
okay, no pressure, but let's do it. Okay.
Wow. I
So
love that.
ask for the sign.
Yeah. I love that. Well, Christine, I want to thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
Spiritual
you.
Spotlight series. This has been amazing. And I
It's
just
so
look forward
much
to talking
fun.
with you again.
I would love nothing more. Thank you so much for having me on.